make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door. It's the Richard Wilmore Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Richard Wilmore.
Tori, thanks for coming over.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime, you can come here anytime you want.
Dope.
First of all, congratulations on being nominated for Best of San Antonio.
Oh, that was cool, right?
Come on.
That's like a thing.
It is a thing.
Yeah, it was unexpected. I didn't think I had a chance.
And that, I mean, you're up against some crazy talented people as well. Like,
Some established people.
yeah, well, how long have you been doing comedy?
2 years in June.
What got you into it?
I've always been interested in comedy. Like, even when I was a little girl, my brother and I would pretend to do stand-up for my mom and her friends when they were a little intoxicated, like in the middle of the night. Like, I would get up and hear them, and it would be like, ooh, I'm gonna go do a New York impersonation, or recite whatever special that I shouldn't have been watching, you know, for their thing. But I like writing, and I've always been writing, and it just kind of morphed. I think before I had a lot of confidence issues. Like, I thought I wasn't pretty enough or thin enough or like whatever to be stand-up. Like, I thought I would be opening myself up for like ridicule on stage, kind of thing like that.
That's what scares me. We've done the roast battle. Not that I've been in the roast battle, but I judged. You've been in it. That, like, I love going to them, but they make me so nervous even to watch. Like,
Oh, it's brutal.
and they're so, it's so hilarious to me,
Yeah.
but it's so mean. Like, you have to either come in like with that thick skin, like, or I don't know if you can learn to deal with that.
Roast battles are kind of like tricky for me because, in my opinion, it promotes a lazy audience. You know, one that sort of heckles and like is encouraged to belittle the performer. And I have like a lot of I don't know. I guess a lot of understanding for people that are trying to get up, you know, and try to like perform or whatever. So it's kind of like counterproductive. Yeah, they're fun, but so it's like a love-hate relationship. Like, I did a couple of them as a favor, and then I was like, okay, like I got asked to host or judge or whatever, and I was like, oh, okay. And it turns out I'm a mean judge, so it worked out.
I know, I always felt bad, so I was just like, I like that one the best. Like, I can't, it's so hard to be like, you sucked.
Yeah, I think
They're trying, well, unless they're not trying. But
yeah, one of the comedians came up to me recently. I won't say who, but he was like, one of the first things you ever said to me was, none of that was funny. And I laughed so hard because I could see, I'm sure I did say it just like that.
But it was also probably the truth.
Yeah, and he
So
was like,
that's-
so I've been really trying to like make you laugh, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Do you have a favorite, like, night that you recall that was just, like, great audience, great, like everything went perfectly?
Recently with Larry and Jay at the Tiger, I was nervous because I thought that, I don't know, they're just so talented, and, you know, they were unveiling all their new material, and I was told to like do punchy stuff and like just really like come out strong, and the host has a big responsibility. I've seen a lot of hosts die, like they go up and they just, like, nothing hits, the crowd isn't warmed up, there's too much light, or things invade how their performance goes. So the atmosphere was perfect, like the dark basement, the light just on me and stuff. Still, the first show was kind of rocky in my opinion, but I'm super hard on myself. The second show, everything hit, everything landed, everything was perfect. And then the guys, you know, Jay went after me and then Larry closed, I believe, and they just killed, they murdered. The whole night was perfect. And that was like, oh, okay, I'm funny.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you allow yourself to like take all that in and absorb that and be like, oh, I actually did really well?
I am a really tough critic. A lot of times I record every set, unless something invades me getting that recording, which could be like a weird intro that distracts me or something like that. I think I did a show recently and somebody, like I was getting ready to press record on my phone, and somebody was like, here's a female comic, and I got distracted, and I was like pissed, and so I forgot to hit record, because why would that be important to say, like, as you bring me up, like, there's a special treat, it's a female, like, they're gonna know I'm a female.
Don't make eye contact with the female.
Like, I don't know, stupid stuff like that will distract me, but for the most part, I record everything, and I listen to it. I make myself listen to it, and I sometimes will share it with my husband, or I'll share it with my mom because she's a horrendous critic or whatever. She's like, you need to stop cursing or something. So yeah, and then I take it and I rewrite it in the same Google Doc that I started 2 years ago and work it all out.
Who did you listen to or watch growing up?
Growing up, it was like Howie Mandel was one of the first specials that I was like, oh my god, he's so funny, you know, with the glove and everything, and like all that, and Eddie Murphy Raw and Red, Lily Tomlin. I'll change her name. Like the one where she's in the big chair. I had the records. Like we had comedy records all the time. Saturday Night Live was something that we watched with the family. It was like a family affair. My favorite segment was Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy. I loved it. Like even when I didn't get it when I was little, I loved it. I was like, oh my god, Deep Thoughts with Jack Handy, you gotta watch it. You know, he's just so funny. Adam Sandler was like my jam, and then he got really, like his movies started to try to have meaning at the end of it, and I was like, ugh, what's happening?
It's not why you're here at 10.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres' first special, oh my god, like how she did the story following thing, you know, where she's walking around and she's like, oh, I am stuck on Band-Aid brand, you know.
I know CDs are right over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love her.
Oh, okay, cool. She was just remarkable, and then getting to see that her newest special and getting to see Sandler's newest special and stuff like that, it's all like coming full circle, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was little, I thought, me and my brother are gonna do that. We're gonna be on stage together. I never saw myself by myself doing it. Yeah. And then there was all that fear. I think I was hiding behind poetry in high school level or whatever. Like middle school, high school, it was like poetry, terrible poetry, angst, you know, and then early 20s, there was still a little bit of that, but it turned to like spoken word, and then suddenly I started writing fiction, and then writing memoir stuff, typewriting, and then screenwriting has been a thing the last couple of years since I started stand-up.
Is there one thing that's more difficult or more fun to do, screenwriting or joke writing?
I love screenwriting so much. I love film so much. And I just have like just such an appreciation for it. I used to get frustrated writing fiction, especially long form fiction like novels, because you spend so much time wanting the story to progress. And then I discovered screenplay like 3 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, this is all dialogue and scene setting and moving the story forward in clever ways. This is so cool. I don't know, I really like it. Joke writing, I think when I first started out, I didn't understand the difference between shock and surprise. And And about a year ago, I met Larry Wilmore, and I asked him a question at whatever, and then he was talking about the difference between shock and surprise, and how a lot of comedians, when they first start out, they think that shock is the laugh. Like by shocking the audience, they're getting them on their side or whatever, but you split the room. But you're really just trying to do surprise. So I've approached my jokes in that sense where I'm trying to be softer. Like I used to do like a terrible abortion joke, and it just didn't, it was all shock. It was, and I remember it was just like, I remember it because it was like 2 years ago, but it was all shock. And then now it's different, and it's just a little surprise, and it works every time.
Do you think that's how your comedy has evolved the most since you've started?
Yeah, that and confidence. I think when I was first going up, I had a lot of fear. And when I was first going up 2 years ago, I just realized it's June. There weren't any females. Like, I walked into LOL one night and signed up and waited and waited and waited and waited, and there were no females. Like, none. I was the only one. I was like, look at this sausage fest. This is crazy.
If you were single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they're all looking at my husband like, who's this guy? And I'm like, ugh. A lot of dudes didn't talk to me at first because of Jason, and I thought that was funny.
Huh.
I guess it kind of checked him a little bit, but yeah, there were no chicks. And then I started going to the other open mics. I met a female, Abby. I met Abby. She was the first female I met, and she ran Oak Hills at the time. And I was like, dude, I want to try stand up more. Where are the other rooms? And then she kind of told me, the other rooms and stuff. And she was like, we need females. And she's like, if you're going to LOL, I'll go back because they kind of ran me out. And I was like, that sucks. So, and then all of a sudden, like, well, this last 6 months to a year, there've been more females. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to talk about the comedy scene in San Antonio and your thoughts on it, and the great people that people should be, besides yourself, obviously, the people that should be on everybody's radar, and what your thoughts are on that.
Okay. So how do I feel about San Antonio comedy?
Yeah.
I feel like we a lot. San Antonio's my home, and I love comedy, and I work really hard at it, so I expect it to continue to get better.
Do you want to throw any of those, not the bad names, but like the people that...
like, here we go.
We have a scrolling list of the people you hate.
Yes, these are all the people. No, I don't hate them, man. I just want them to work on their comedy, like just be better, and also just don't act like you know everything, man. I'm still learning. I'm consistently learning and trying hard, and when I first started, I was at every open mic, and like some in multiple nights, and I was there and trying, and I did that for about a year, and then now luckily I'm part of the Blind Tiger Comedy Club, and that has been everything to me, and I've been helping people I love that are super talented, and I don't know why they're not famous. Larry Garza, he's one of my mentors, and he's just so talented.
2 weeks.
Oh, he's so great. He's so incredibly humble and just great. I love him. Jay Wycotton is my main mentor. Almost said man, not mine. I don't own him. He's someone who has been a sounding board for me, and he's just funny, and he's done so much. I actually first saw Jay when I used to go to every Doug Stanhope show. He's like a little, I guess, under everyone's radar, but Doug Stanhope's a genius. He's someone who can say anything, and I love that about him. I think Josh Cabaza is super funny, and he's got his hands in everything, which is dope. George Anthony is like right up there. I love that guy, and I love how grumpy he is too. Like, I think he scares everyone. Yeah. He's just like, whatever, work on your set. And I'm like, love me. Who else am I thinking of? Gabriela Tijerina, she's super funny. Why isn't she famous? That's like about it in San Antonio.
It's a huge list though. That's what I love about this city. When I first moved here, I was like, I had never lived in Texas. I had visited once my family in Fort Worth, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm about to get myself into.
Yeah.
But there's so much talent here, and I love that about this city.
Oh my God, Chris Breckel is
Oh.
the funniest freaking person right now. I was trying to think who else I'm forgetting. Do you know Chris Breckel? Oh, he's so
I
funny.
think so.
Lately, I've been really paying attention to him and like working with him a lot more. He's so funny, just like instantly funny. I'm kind of jealous of him. His brain works really fast.
Really quick. I love people like that. What's your advice to people who either want to get into it or are just starting and like?
Be humble.
Yeah.
Like, slow your roll. Like, I know we all want to be famous, otherwise, and we all need our ego fed, otherwise why are we doing this, right? But I feel like some people, I think I saw something in a comedy group the other day, and somebody was like, what do I have to do to get booked? Or something. And I was like, ooh, who does that? Like, just, like, be funny. Just be funny. Be funny, write. Don't do 1,000 different sets. Because that's my mistake, what I did. When I first started, I was like, ugh, everybody's doing the same thing when I come here. Oh my gosh, they're so lame. I'm doing new stuff all the time. Dumb. Anyway, they were working on their set. They were building. You have to build. Like, start with 4 funny minutes. 4 consistent funny minutes that work every time. Then add a new joke. Then add another joke. It's all about cumulative and not like, oh, I'm going to write my new 4, I'm going to write my new 10, I'm going to write my new hour. Like, I feel like everyone is in a rush, and I understand that some of us are against the clock. I am older, or whatever. Luckily, I look young because I'm brown. But like, yeah, I just feel like you got to be writing, and you need community. You need to find a group of people that you trust and that aren't writing tags for you, but instead trying to bring things out of you that are already there. Like asking you questions like, hey Tori, why the hell do you want to talk about, what is it, labiaplasties? That's what I've been looking at lately. Why are they a thing? I don't understand. But yeah, like, I don't know, man. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean,
And
even
we need more chicks, girls, ladies. Where you at?
and people think like, oh, how hard is it to stand up there for 4 minutes? And
It's
talk?
hard.
But sit in silence for 30 seconds. If we were to do that now, like that would drag on. It would seem like it was 4 minutes.
No,
Like,
it's
that's
terrible.
Really, yeah.
It's hard. I mean, and also getting to the point, dude. Stand up punch, stand up punch. I think when I first started, I was like, I'm gonna be John Oliver or something. Like, I'm gonna tell you something informative about the news and make a joke about it. But like, I think I had a joke. I was trying to do a joke about this yoga teacher. I don't do this joke. It was like one of the first jokes that I tried to write, but it was a joke about a yoga teacher who slammed on the back of a patrol car and ended up getting shot. This was like 2 years ago or something. And I was like, that's white privilege. That's the stupidest thing I've ever said in my whole life. And no, that was never anything. Getting rid of all the hacky stuff. Like, I still do jokes about race and stuff because race is like a thing in my life or whatever. But in the beginning, I had this horrible sleep machine joke that my friend Regis, who's super funny too, Regis, I forgot to say Regis Velasco, would always be like, are you gonna do that sleep machine joke again? Screw you. I'm not.
We'll give that 30 seconds
Yeah.
for you to look at the camera. Yeah.
I did do this show in San Marcos where it was called Fresh at Buzzmill Fresh at Buzzmill. And at the end of it, they're like, what's a joke that you used to do in the beginning that you don't do anymore? And so I brought that sleep machine joke out that's super racist, and they died laughing, and I was like,
Maybe I do need to bring it back.
thanks for the reinforcement.
I want to go back to you being nominated for Best San Antonio. You
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to the current website, we'll put it on the bottom,
Oh,
to
great.
vote, and you have until the 30th.
Yeah, so the nominations, so the current does it weird, like the nomination window was open for like several weeks, And so the finals round is open for several weeks up until June 30th, and you can vote for your favorites once a day until the 30th. So if you think of me multiple times a day, that would be dope. I don't expect you to. I mean, I hardly think of myself multiple times a day, but I kind of want to win because out of everyone, you know, like Kim Curley's super funny. She's been doing this for like, what, 20 plus years? Okay, Cleto, super funny. He's on the news. Do you really need this, Cleto? Or however you say your name, Cleto. Where are you? I don't care. Like, don't win this. Like, you have other things, you know? Like, you have Suits. Larry, he's been doing this for several years too. Like, I would love to lose to Larry because I love him. Like, that's fine. Tanvir, I think he's been doing this 3 or 4 years. I don't know your life, Tanvir. I'm sorry.
He's coming next week.
Okay.
So we'll learn about it.
He's one of my favorite persons too. But I'll fight you. You know, like it's fine.
Can we fight him on here?
Yeah, I'll fight him on
Okay.
here. Like, can we get some Jello and
That's
just
fine.
like?
There's a ton of room. And do whatever you want.
I don't know. So I feel like I'm the super underdog. I led in the nominations. That's why my name's on top. So I'm hoping to win it. And it'd be great, you know, for like my ex-principal to be like, have to read my name in print, you know, or my mom to put it on the coffee table, or, you know, the club that won't book me to be like, that contest doesn't even matter. Because you know they will.
And I hope
yeah.
you have it framed with you at all times.
I know, right? Like, Reader's Choice.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It would be dope. We'll see.
Well, I think that I hope you realize then how amazing you are. Just that nomination, I think is so great.
Thank you. I
You're
go
hilarious.
through stages of, am I trash? Maybe I should quit. But I love it too much, and honestly, I just want to be funny.
Yeah, you are.
Thank
You
you.
are. So besides a comedian, you're many other things. So I want you to tell me, describe yourself in 3 words.
Oof. 3 words. Without using comedian?
You can say comedian, but we
I feel
talked
like
about
that's
that.
cheating, yeah. I'm a screenwriter. I'm not at all. Ooh, that's too many words. Screenwriter, a mother, and what's the other word? Gosh, is this 30 seconds?
You can still say comedian. I want to talk about you being a mother and your son and your jokes about your son.
Oh God.
I don't think some of them you
I
can
guess
say here, but
I'm a wife, right? I'm a wife.
Yeah.
That's a good. Like, I'm not a great wife. I try. I mean,
how long have you been married?
it'll be 13 years in July.
How did you meet?
We met at a party. I was there stalking a boy, and he
Not
was
him.
there. Not him, and he was there drinking at said party, and there was a band playing, and I, like, you know, when the band stops or whatever, I yelled to my friend, "Let's go outside!" And my husband, who I didn't even know, was like, "Where are you going?" "I'll go with you." And I'm like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And then he just kind of stuck, you know, like, we just kept running into each other after that, and then we started dating, and yeah. That was like when I was 20 years old.
What makes it work?
I feel like it's a give and take, and I mean, I don't know, like, I feel like some days I look at him and I'm like, oh, I love you, and then other days I'm like, why are you still here, you know, it's give and take, and I think that a lot of it is that we have a beautiful little boy together, and I still get this thing that happens every now and then where I get butterflies. I've always liked the butterfly thing, and sometimes he just does this like incredibly romantic thing where he defends me, or he just, you know, I don't know, we've always been good together. I hope it lasts. I don't know. I'm like a really negative person usually. I'm always like, whenever he doesn't leave me, you know, like, but I don't know, man. We have to work at it. And when one person stops working, it'll all fall apart, and hopefully we'll still be friends. Yeah.
We'll come back phase 2 if that
I
happens.
know,
It won't
right?
happen. It won't happen.
Hopefully it'll all be okay.
No, this is the moment where we all cry.
No, it's fine.
Do you want to talk about being a mother and how that has changed you?
Being a mom, I never wanted to be a mom. I thought the kids in general were a drain on the economy, and I never saw myself as being a mother. I felt too selfish and too self-absorbed. I really just didn't see it. And then when I got married, there was a lapse in my birth control.
Oops.
Yeah, and then there was an open bar. Thank you, Sean and Jill. And yeah, then I was pregnant and I was like, we should get rid of it. And he's like, we're married, it'll be okay. And I'm like, oh, is that what we're supposed to do?
I think that's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, and then
It's
I had this
okay.
weird irrational fear that people were gonna think it was a shotgun wedding because we had just gotten
Oh.
married, and then we went to, you know, the wedding, another wedding like a few weeks later, and then a few weeks later I was pregnant, and my sister was like, you're stupid. And so, yeah.
My friend Lindsay was pregnant at her wedding, but she didn't know she was pregnant.
Oh no!
And she found out like a couple of weeks later, and she was like, "Oh, crap! We drank a lot that night." She has a beautiful, beautiful son.
I'm sure
But
he's fine.
He is fine. He's adorable. He's super smart. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I love him more than anything in this world, and he is like someone that I will like probably murder for. Like honestly, like the level of affection and affinity that I feel for him, it chokes me up half the time. And I'm like, whoa, except when he's like, hey, stop writing jokes about me.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, what's his reaction to you being a comedian? And like, does he think you're funny?
Well, lately he's been trying to give me advice
Mm.
on jokes, and he listens to my sets a little bit more. And at first he got, I think the first joke I ever did, and I reported this on stage, I reported my first time going up. Oh my God. And I showed it to him. We were at Friendly Spot one day afterward, and I was like, hey Ben, I want you to watch my first set or whatever that I've ever done. Like, this is like something that's important to me. And so I have video of him reacting, and he's like, I hate you, Mom. I hate you for saying that about me. And I was like, oh my God. And he was like, everyone's gonna know who I am. And I was like, no one knows who you are. Like, no one cares. Like, I didn't give him your address or whatever. So there's like a give and take. He doesn't like if I portray him in a certain light. Like, I just started doing this new joke about emojis or whatever, and it's based off of a concept more than an actual thing that happened. Which a lot of people think that other jokes have to be about like verbatim whatever happened to you, but you're in control. You can make up whatever you want, and I think that was something that I didn't realize at first. So now he's like, I don't think you need that part, I think you can get rid of that part, or don't make me sound stupid, you're stupid. I'm like, okay. He's 12 years old, he's cute, he's joked about being my manager.
Oh my God.
And the first few shows that I ever made money on, I would just give it to him. Like, be like, oh, here's $50, I made $50, and he's like, oh, cool. And so now
He's gonna have
that the fees are bigger, he's like, hey, how much did you make? And I'm like, none of your business, dude. Like, I got booked for something at the end of the month, and it's a pretty big paycheck, and he's like, how much of that am I getting?
Wow.
So he's a terrible manager. He's a terrible manager. He's sucking me dry. But yeah, he's a great kid.
And you have a really funny joke about him being naked at home.
I
Does he
do.
love
That is-
that joke too, I'm sure.
Oh, he hates it so much. He's like, that's not what happened, but most of it happened. It's so yeah, he really did, and it really is true. Like, I used to love being naked at home, and then I had to put clothes on because this one was just like, you know, and yeah, that joke is true, and that joke always kills with like women, an older crowd. Usually, I think I did that joke in Austin one time for a very young crowd. Oh no, it was not great. It was just like dead silence, or maybe that was Houston at Secret Group. And then I was like, okay, let me switch it up.
I thought it was hilarious.
Thank you. I do like that joke.
Yeah.
I forget about it. I only do it for longer sets now. But yeah, it's great. He's a good kid. He's a good sport for the most part, but I have to be like, this isn't real, you know? This is all a social construct. We're in the Matrix.
He's going to like graduate high school and be like, oh no, I have a job. I'm my mom's manager.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I don't have to do anything. I have a job.
He has me blocked on Instagram.
You can't be a manager and be blocked.
Yeah, because he's like, I don't want to see you make fun of me. And I'm like, I don't post all my jokes. Like, I barely do. Nerd.
What do you have coming up that you want people to come see you?
What do I have next week? What's today's date? Oh, next week I'm headlining Roadmap Brewery, which is on Friday the 22nd. Is that Friday the 22nd?
Sure, that sounds really good. We'll look it up.
Next week, next Friday, Roadmap Brewery. They can catch me at the Blind Tiger Comedy Club on Fridays at midnight. Every third Saturday, I host a brewery show at Freetail Brewing on South Presa called Hoppy Endings, which is dope. You should check it out. I give away tattoos from this guy that I sleep with called Jason Pool. And the
You
end
give
of the
away
month,
tattoos?
yeah, I give away $60 gift certificates in a drawing, and Freetail gives away, they match my donation by giving away like shirts and cups and stuff and
Why
beer.
have I not done this?
It's
Why have
super
I not
fun.
been there? I love tattoos. I need a new tattoo.
He's great, and he's a good tattooist. Everybody's like, do you just say that because you're married to him? No, man, I have work from him. All my work is from him, except for like 3 things. Yeah. The end of the month, I'm in Vegas for performing at a teachers conference. They're flying me out, so I get to spend 4 days, 5 nights out there. 5 days, 4 nights, something like that.
What are you gonna do out there? Anything?
I just found out my good friend Irma, who's super funny, is gonna be out there too. So we're gonna try to hit some mics and stuff and do that. Ooh, next month I have a big teacher show. Teachers Gone Bad, still summer.
You're doing the Teachers Gone Bad?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I had, when I first moved here, on my show in Yvette, to promote.
okay.
Yeah, that's how I met her.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
And she's just an excellent promoter. She's just a businesswoman. Like, I think she gets a lot of flack, but she's the most business-oriented person ever. And she's really built a brand.
Yeah, she's so funny. I don't know if I'll have to ask her if I can tell you this, but so she asked me to come to her house once, and she needed help with some Facebook advertising, so I went there, and she was like, I'll pay you, and I was like, yeah, whatever. So I show up, and we do it, and she's like, okay, I was gonna pay you, but I just got Botox, so I don't have any cash on me. Can I
Venmo you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's her.
Yeah.
I just got Botox. Dude, I was gonna pay you, but I just got Botox.
Yep, and then I was like, okay.
Nah, man, she's great. She booked me. I was looking at my calendar, and most of the stuff I have this summer is like something that we've listed, Teachers Gone Bad stuff. Like, we're gonna be in El Paso, we're gonna be in Arlington Improv, Ontario Improv in California, and a couple other places.
I love that she gets everyone out of the city too.
Yeah.
She-
I'm gonna
she
be at
knows
Kickapoo and El Paso. Did I say El Paso? Yeah, all those shows where I get to headline, which is crazy to me that I'm headlining at 2 years. I think it's insane. Because I'm not as funny as everyone else, and that I feel like, like that. But I don't know, it's like something in my head. I'm like, whoa, how am I headlining? But yeah, I get to headline those teacher shows, and that's like my bread and butter, man. I used to be a teacher, and I really connect with that.
I think when you start maybe assuming that you're going to headline, like, oh, I'm the headliner, like maybe that's when you should start like, oh, maybe I need to adjust myself. But I love that you're headlining, you're like, why?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Like, yeah.
Like Roadmap Brewery,
I'll
Chris
do it,
Sparkle's way
but-
funnier than me. Why isn't he headlining? But like, yeah. Oh, you want me to close the show? I got you. I'll close it. I'll close the crap out of it. Yeah, that's fine. But yeah,
Awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me.
dude, thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Do we shake hands or something?
I don't know, I want to take a picture, I have a selfie stick.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we can do that. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about while I figure this out?
No, I think that's it. I hope that People, hey, all you people that say you're coming to my comedy shows, because you really want to see me, come out.
She's hilarious.
Thanks.
Go vote for her. We're gonna take a picture. We're gonna go. Goodbye now.